everyone. Welcome back to the English Marathon.
I'm Alex, and I'm joined by Maya. Today is day 8 of our 500-day journey. Today, we're talking about the art of small talk.
Oh, small talk. The absolute bane of my existence when I'm caffeinated and just want to get to the point. But also my best friend when I'm trying to make a new connection.
It's a polarizing topic, isn't it? Some people find it superficial, while others see it as the essential social glue that holds our interactions together.
Exactly. But Alex, be honest. When you're at a party and someone asks, "So, how about this weather?" Do you actually want to talk about the rain, or do you want to run for the exit?
Well, as a fan of structure and predictability, I actually appreciate the weather opener. It's safe. It's a low-stakes way to gauge if the other person is open to talking. But I agree, if the conversation stays on the humidity for 20 minutes, we have a problem.
A major problem. Today, we're going to help our listeners move past the weather report and actually use small talk to build real rapport. Whether you're at a networking event or just waiting for a coffee, small talk is your gateway to fluency.
Let's start with the why. Many English learners feel that small talk is a waste of time because it doesn't involve deep topics like philosophy or career goals. However, in English-speaking cultures, especially in the UK, US, and Canada, skipping small talk can actually come across as rude or overly aggressive.
Totally. It's like a warm-up stretch before a workout. You can't just jump into a heavy lifting session or a heavy conversation without getting the blood flowing first. Small talk signals, I am friendly, I am safe to talk to, and I recognize your presence.
That's a great way to put it. Now, Maya, you're much more out there than I am. When you're in a room full of strangers, what's your go-to strategy to move beyond the basics?
I'm a big fan of the observe and ask method. Instead of a generic, "How are you?" which usually gets a boring, "I'm fine," I look for something specific in the environment. Maybe it's the food, the music, or even a cool piece of tech someone is using. I might say, "I've been eyeing those appetizers. Have you tried the mini quiches yet?"
That's clever because it's a shared experience. You're both in the same room, eating the same food. It's an instant bridge. From a grammatical perspective, I always recommend using open-ended questions.
Oh, here comes the teacher side of Alex. Tell us more.
I can't help it. A closed question starts with "do you" or "are you," and usually results in a one-word answer. Do you like your job? Yes. End of conversation. Awkward silence.
Yikes, total buzzkill.
But if you use who, what, where, when, or why, you force the other person to give you more hooks to grab onto. Instead of, "do you like your job?" try, "what's the most interesting project you're working on right now?"
I love that. It gives them a chance to shine. But what do you do, Alex, when you are the one being asked the questions and you feel your English is failing you? Sometimes learners get brain fog because they're worrying about perfect grammar.
That's a huge hurdle. My advice is to use the answer plus add technique. If someone asks, "where are you from?" don't just say Brazil. Say, "I'm from Brazil, specifically a small town near the coast that's famous for its seafood."
Boom. Now I have two things to ask you about, the town or the seafood. You've basically handed me a map for the rest of the conversation.
Exactly. It's about being a generous conversationalist. You have to give the other person something to work with. But let's be real, Maya, there are some no-go zones for small talk, right?
Oh, definitely. Unless you want to see people scatter like pigeons, stay away from the big three in initial small talk: politics, religion, and money. Also, maybe don't ask people why they look tired. That's never a compliment.
Good point. In English, we call these sensitive subjects. Stick to safe categories like hobbies, travel, work, or current non-controversial events.
And don't forget the power of the follow-up. If I tell you I went hiking this weekend, don't just say, "cool," and talk about your cat. Ask me where I went. It shows you're actually listening, not just waiting for your turn to speak.
Listening is probably 70% of being good at small talk. It's not about having the best stories. It's about being the most interested person in the room.
All right, Alex, let's get into the nitty-gritty of how we actually say these things. I used a phrase earlier. I said, small talk can be a buzzkill.
A classic Maya word. Buzzkill is a very common informal noun. It refers to a person or a thing that suddenly destroys a positive or excited atmosphere. For example, if everyone is having a great time at a party and someone starts complaining about their taxes, that person is a buzzkill.
Exactly. It kills the buzz, the good energy. Now, Alex, what's the more professional way to describe a conversation that just stops?
We often use the phrase, the conversation stalled. To stall means to stop making progress. You might also say there was an awkward lull in the conversation. A lull is a temporary period of quiet or inactivity.
I hate those lulls. That's when I usually start babbling. To babble is to talk quickly and continuously in a way that doesn't make much sense, usually because you're nervous.
And that's a great word for our B1 to B2 learners to know. If you feel yourself babbling, just take a breath. In formal settings, we might say someone is being verbose or long-winded, which just means using way too many words.
Guilty as charged. One more for you, Alex. I mentioned rapport earlier. I love that word, but the spelling is so tricky for people.
It is. It's spelled R-A-P-P-O-R-T, but the T is silent. It comes from French. To build rapport means to develop a relationship characterized by agreement, empathy, and mutual understanding. In small talk, your goal isn't to exchange data. It's to build rapport.
Let's put this into practice. Let's imagine we are at a professional mixer. You know, one of those events with lukewarm coffee and name tags. I'm the person standing by the snack table, and you're the brave soul coming up to talk to me.
Challenge accepted. Let's see if I can avoid being a buzzkill. Hi there. I couldn't help but notice you found the best spot in the room, right next to the cookies. I'm Alex, by the way.
You caught me. I'm Maya. And honestly, these cookies are the only reason I've stayed this long. Are you here for the keynote speech later?
I am, though I'll admit I'm more interested in the Q&A session. I'm a bit of a tech nerd. What about you? What brings you to a Future of AI conference on a Tuesday?
Well, I work in digital marketing, so I'm trying to figure out if robots are going to take my job by next year. How about you? Are you in development or just a fan of the gadgets?
A bit of both. I work in software architecture. It's a lot of sitting in front of screens, so events like this are my rare chance to actually talk to humans. Is your office based here in the city?
Just a few blocks away. It's a great area, though the traffic is a nightmare. Do you have a long commute?
Not too bad. I take the train, which gives me time to catch up on podcasts. Speaking of which, have you heard any good ones lately?
See? Smooth as silk, Alex. You used an observation, the cookies, asked an open-ended question, what brings you here, and followed up on my commute.
And notice how I didn't ask how much you earn or who you voted for. We kept it light, focused on the environment, and shared a little bit about our daily lives.
Now it's your turn, listeners. We have a small talk challenge for you today.
Your challenge is to use the answer plus add technique. The next time someone asks you a simple question like, how was your weekend? Or where do you work? Don't give a one-word answer. Give the answer plus one interesting detail.
Write your answer plus add response in the comments below. We'd love to see how you're turning basic questions into real conversations.
That's all for today's session of the English Marathon. We hope this helped you get one step closer to fluency.
If you enjoyed this, please hit like and share it with your friends. It really helps the channel.
And don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications so you can join us every single day of this marathon. Stay consistent, and we'll see you tomorrow.